Women already have a lot going on for them, anatomically, physiologically, and mentally. Depending on who you ask, egg freezing has been one of the methods women and people transitioning to men use to preserve their fertility, to have somewhat assurance of the possibility of having a family in the future. My name is Kingsley Ojukwu, and this is Easy IVF. At birth, women are born with 1 to 2 million eggs, meaning that they do not produce more eggs throughout their lifespan. Unlike their male counterpart who produces new sperm cells daily, about 10,000 eggs die monthly prior to puberty or by puberty. Only about 3 to 400,000 eggs remain by the end of puberty. About 1,000 eggs die each month, and only about 300 to 400, depending on the lifespan out of the 2 million eggs, are ovulated during the lifespan of a woman. It is also important to point out that the average age at which women start menstruating has drastically changed from 13 to 14 back in the days to 10 or 11 now in these recent days. You might ask yourself, why are all the eggs not enough to help a woman achieve a life-healthy birth? It is important to note that the quantity of the eggs does not reflect the quality of the eggs. As women age, the quality of the eggs decreases, and there are also high chances of chromosomal abnormalities. All of these biological events and more has prompted science to invent egg freezing or oocyte cryopreservation. Studies have also reported a higher birth rate and ongoing pregnancies with vitrification, as well as slow freezing. Now, to get down to the nitty-gritty of this video, why should you freeze your eggs? I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you should freeze your eggs. 1. If you're building a career or you're in school, it might be wise to freeze your eggs. If you're single, if you're partnered, it might be wise to freeze your embryos, because the more you age, the lower the quality of the eggs and the higher the chances of increased chromosomal anomaly. 2. If you're working overseas and you're a woman in the military, or even a man in the military, if you're working overseas and you don't have time to raise a family, or you don't have time to find a partner, or you're just busy with work trying to serve your country as a military person, freeze your eggs. Your spouse or your partner or your common-in-law partner could need those cells or those tissue one day. 3. If you're single, if you're aging, time is not on your side, and you're interested in having kids, you don't have to wait for a man or a woman to have kids. If you're single and you're really interested in having kids and you haven't found the right person, you can freeze your eggs and wait, or you can freeze your eggs and look for a donor sperm to, make an embryo and potentially get pregnant with that. 4. If your partner is not interested in having kids and you are interested in having kids, you don't have to wait for your partner again. Freeze your eggs till you find the right person, or you can use the donor sperm to get yourself pregnant. 5. If you're in a new relationship, at times when you're in a new relationship, it's very difficult to know if this person is the right person, or if you want to have a child with this person, or you're really ready to start a family with this new person in your life. It is wise to freeze your eggs, especially when your partner or your spouse is not looking forward to having kids yet or in the future. You don't want to experience difficulty when the time comes, so freezing your eggs might be a better option if you can afford it. 6. If you have one child and you're not ready for another child, you might be wise, although you've had a child and you still want to have more kids in the future, even if you're married and partnered, it might be wise to freeze your eggs. Or better still, freeze your embryo. I'll be making a video on egg freezing versus embryo freezing, so watch out for the next video on that. 7. If you're undergoing cancer treatment, you need to freeze your eggs or your embryos. According to the American Society of Reproductive Medicine, the chemotherapy and the drugs that is used during cancer treatment can actually affect the quality of your eggs, or even kind of like cause a reduction in that pool that you already have. The survival rates of cancer is currently improving, and it makes it possible for you to plan for a life after cancer. So basically, when you have cancer, it's not the end of the world. You can still plan for your reproductive life, and you can also plan for your future. 8. Genetic disorders such as Turner syndrome. So if you have any sort of genetic disorder that might prevent you from having kids in the future, such as Turner syndrome that is caused by complete or partial lack of one of the female sex chromosomes, which also affects the ovary, then you might want to consider freezing your eggs. There's an abnormal development and premature insufficiency of the ovaries, and this would affect the ability of the ovaries to produce estrogen. And this can result in a variety of problems like infertility and early menopause. If you have such condition, please consider freezing your eggs on time. 9. Decreased ovarian reserve. So if you go to the hospital and they're able to check your follicle counts, if you do have a decreased ovarian reserve, it might be wise to freeze some of the eggs now that you know, than waiting later in the future when it might be worse. 10. Egg donation. Not everyone might need to freeze your eggs, but still, if you are willing, there are millions of families out there that are struggling with female factor infertility. A lot of them do not have the financial capability to buy frozen eggs or family members to support them in their journey. Even when they do, there's a lack of diversity in the egg bank for people looking to have kids of their cultural origin. There are a lot of men in same-sex relationships looking to have a donor egg to help them in raising a family. You can connect with them on so many platforms and help them achieve their dreams of having a family. Please share this video with a friend. Thank you for watching, and cherish life.